Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back here to my channel, Just Simply Sports with me. I am Kaja. If you're new to my channel, I welcome you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I need you guys to stop whatever you're doing and hit the like button before you go any further in this video. I appreciate you guys. Look. NFL season is here. WNBA playoffs are here. NBA season will be coming back shortly. It's so much going on. I'm just super excited. We got to get started tonight because obviously second week NFL, Packers versus the Commanders, you guys. And I said the Packers were going to win this game, not because of Jordan Love, but because of the defense. This defense, you guys, was really built to stop the Eagles. Let's talk about it. So that final score was 27-18, and honestly, if you watched the game, it didn't even feel like it was that close, you guys. There was a point watching this game, I said, you know what? The fourth quarter, it's going to get good at some point. Like, it's going to get really, really good. I kind of got used to what we saw with the Bills making their comeback in the last 4 minutes against the Ravens, and J.J. McCarthy taking over on Monday against the Bears in the fourth quarter. I'm like, okay, the fourth quarter, something's going to happen, right? Something's going to happen. JD5, he's going to do something to show us how special he is, and that just did not happen. He's still special, but not so much in this game, all right? The team just wasn't special. Like, they finished with 230 total yards, the Commanders. Packers 404. Jayden Daniels 24-42. 2 touchdowns still, 187 yards. Jordan Love also had 2 touchdowns, 292 yards, and then 19-31. You guys, look. When I watch the Packers, and I said coming into this game, the Packers are going to win, like I said, because of the defense, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, you know what? This defense really reminds me of the Eagles and how they looked last season. I'm like, that's really how I feel, and I know it's the second game, and I know people are like, well, it's only the second game. Last week was only the first game. I'm looking at what I see, and I really feel like the Eagles missed an opportunity, their best opportunity, should I say, to kind of run it back. I'm not saying that they're going to be out of contention. I'm not saying that at all. But they made a lot of changes, I think, too soon, getting rid of Darius Slay, getting rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Like, I don't think, and they always say in Howie we trust, right? He knows what he's doing, but I really feel like I would have kept those pieces there at least one more season to see what happened before I moved on. Obviously, you still have Jalen Carter, who's their best defensive player, but anything can happen, right? They were stacked on offense and defense. Still stacked on offense, but I wouldn't have moved on so soon. I really feel like the Packers, they know they can't get past the Eagles, and they said, you know what? Because you know how they felt about the tush push, right? They were the one team that was pushing for that tush push, no pun intended, to get banned, and it did not, obviously. It didn't, it fell on deaf ears. It didn't work itself out. So like I said, look, don't get mad. Don't try to ban it. Find a way to beat them, and I really feel like they have done just that. Now, we're not going to see what's going to happen until the playoffs. Of course, I'm not going to judge anybody too harshly on their regular season record, of course, unless it's just really, really awful. But for right now, I really feel like, look, when they play again, we're going to see a different Packers team. Really and truly, I really believe that, you guys. Mark my words, okay? Save this video right now. Save it so that when they do play, you can come back to it and you see that I was right. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm good at these things. I see these things, right? Like, and if you're rocking with me, you will see it too, okay? I'm telling you. So, Jayden Daniels, right? He didn't really feel like himself tonight. And it could be because of the Packers defense, but I really feel like he's always super calm, always chill. He never seems like he's he never shows that he's overwhelmed, even if he is. When you're watching the game, I never feel like he shows it. He keeps a good head on his shoulders, always stays composed, always stays calm, which I think is great, especially if you're a franchise QB and you're leading the team, because they're going to follow your lead. I think he does a great job of setting the tone, of taking command. Again, no pun intended. Look at me, you guys. No pun intended, right? I really did not mean to do that. But I love what I'm seeing from him, and I'm not talking about his stats. Like I said, I'm talking about his composure, and it's different for him, sophomore slump. Maybe he'll have, or maybe he won't. It's too soon to tell. But I expected more from a Dan Quinn-led defense. I know he is a defensive-minded first coach. I know it's the second week, but I'm looking at what I saw last week versus what I saw this week. And honestly, there were some similarities there. The difference is the QBs. Jordan Love is younger. He's stronger, he's taller, he's faster. Russell Wilson is older. Russell Wilson right now, where he is in his age and in his time, his strength is the deep ball. If that's not there, Russ really doesn't, I don't say he doesn't have much to offer, but he's a little bit more limited, right? He has to have a strong O-line around him and things of that nature, obviously, to be successful. And right now, the O-line for the Giants is very, very questionable. But when you go against someone like tonight, they had a Jordan Love. You go against a Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. You have a Josh Josh Allen on that side. Even Justin freaking Fields was looking like, I was like, look at Justin, okay, when he played the Steelers, right? Even he's mobile, he's running. There's Justin Herbert. I mean, look at how he looked like against the Chiefs, right? I mean, out there extending plays, sliding. I was like, oh, okay. I see you, Justin. I see what you're doing. So I say all that to say, like, you're not going to have most of these, besides Aaron Rodgers, I think that's Matthew Stafford, but I mean, he's just so lethal with his arm. Like, I mean, like, he can take anybody out, right? So most of the QBs are young and they can extend plays, they can get out the pocket, they can move. And if your defense is not on, for lack of a better word, right? And I'm trying to be respectful. Obviously, you guys, I'm not going to be rude because it's only the second week. I'm not going to judge too harshly, but you got to figure something out. Really and truly, because I saw it last week. The only difference is that Russell wasn't able to capitalize off it because obviously he's in a different place right now. But if you had Jackson Dart there, maybe, I think you might have had a different outcome, because it wasn't like the Commanders just took a commanding lead of that game. You know, they just beat them by like 50-6 or something. Like, that was not the case at all. It was about 13-6 for a long time in that game, but they ended up getting the W. What does concern me going forward for the Commanders are their injuries. Eckler looks like he tore his Achilles, and I had PTSD. I saw him grab at it. I was like, oh my God, another Achilles. Going back to the NBA season, Jason Tatum, Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm like, not another Achilles, please. But it definitely looked like it. So I'm praying that obviously that's not it, but you know, it's unfortunate because the season just started, and seeing him on the bench, he was looking like, oh my God, not this. And I feel really bad for him because it takes so long to recover. The teams move on. They don't want to give you no more money. They don't want to sign you. You're getting older. There's so much that goes into that. So it's really, really unfortunate. My prayers go out to him, and hopefully speed recovery. Wise as well. He got carted off. He was crying. I'm like, oh man, I just felt so bad watching this game. I was like, what is going on with the Commanders? They're just going down one by one. So going forward, I don't know how that's going to impact the team, really and truly, but I will put out I'm going to put out a filler for Shiloh Sanders, because obviously he plays defense, and maybe, just maybe, he could add some sort of, be an asset to the team. You never know, right? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that he is going to be the end-all, be-all, and I know he plays defense. Obviously, Austin Eckler's on the offensive side of the ball. I know you guys. But I'm throwing it out there because there are some deficiencies, some positions open, right? There's some positions open, and hopefully maybe Shiloh can come on the practice squad. I'm just throwing it out there, you guys. Going on to the Packers, I love what I'm seeing, you guys. I'm not a huge Green Bay Packers fan. I'm not going to pretend like I am, but I'm not blind either. What I'm seeing is a team that is ready to contend for a championship. So everybody has been put on notice, and I know it's early, but we saw how they looked last season. They were making strides and building strides. You saw how the changes they made in the offseason. You saw them bringing Micah Parsons. I'm like, you know what? This team is ready, and they're built to contend now. On to the WNBA, you guys. Postseason is finally here. It starts Sunday officially, September 14th. Tonight was the final night for the regular season. Chicago Sky played their last game against the Liberty. Angel Reese has not played after the whole article came out. And of course, Candace Parker, Leah Boston, they have their whole podcast. And she said some interesting things. I'm going to play this clip for you guys and come right back.
In public and front-facing things, you have to protect your team and your organization no matter how you feel. And there were so many bumpy rides with the Sparks that I've had. And I think the best advice that I ever received was to keep things in-house. You can yell, scream, cuss, do all those things in between these walls, but you can't bring it out. And once that happens, it's hard to gain that trust back. And so I think Angel taking the steps of apologizing publicly is huge. But I also feel like there is a little bit of a need, even more so, for the understanding of how sacred the locker room is. And now, what is the next step?
Candace, you are a vet in this league. You are revered by so many of these players looking up to you. If you have knowledge, you hear in the video, she was talking, if you watched that clip of the podcast or the full podcast, she spoke about a time that she had an issue, and, you know, her family spoke out and how it, rippled with the team. You have that knowledge, you have that experience. Share it with the youngins, you know what I mean? Don't just get on your podcast and then talk about Angel, because you know people are going to see it, it's going to trend, and that's going to be the part they take out, right? They're going to chop it up and how they want it to look, and then people are going to talk about it. So give some advice. And I'm not mad at what she said, because there was some truth to it, right? Whether I like it or not, or I like her or not, you do have to be careful what you say. You do, because when you are very popular, you're a star of a franchise, a superstar, a star, however you want to look at it. Angel is very popular. She is a star. Now, you may not like it, but that she is. Like, she's trending all over the place every single time she does or says anything. So her voice and her weight is going to carry. And I do hope that she learns, like, you know what? I have to be, or she has learned, I have to be more careful what I say. Because if I say this the wrong way, or I say this, they're going to take what they want to take from it. And they're going to use it, and they're going to just put it out in the best way that works for their Chicago Tribune or their Vogue magazine article. And that's going to be that. And then now it's like working overtime to try to change the narrative of what people think. They see you on the sideline, and you're not talking to the team, and not talking to you. It's like, oh, they're not talking to each other. And there goes more stories and more people spinning their heads trying to figure out what's going on in the organization. Hence her being benched and not playing for the past few games because her back all of a sudden started hurting again. You see what I'm saying? How one thing leads to the next. Now, I don't believe that Angel was trying to throw her team under the bus. I don't believe she was trying to hurt their feelings. I could see how they felt that way, but I don't think that was her intention. I really feel like she was talking to the organization through the article, trying to force their hand to either trade her this offseason or to make some moves in the offseason so they could actually start winning. I think I really feel like that was what her intention was, and obviously, based on the conversation that was had, they took what they wanted to and they put it out there. And that was just that. But I do hope that going forward, Angel has learned something and she will take this lesson, because it is a lesson. It's just on a bigger stage. And that's what's so crazy. It's one thing for us because we're not in front of the camera 24/7 with everybody, millions of people looking at what you're saying. We can make our mistakes in private. But when it comes to these athletes, especially the ones who are popular, they cannot. Bad breakup, arguing with your mom, best friend, it's all over the place. You gotta just deal with the backlash. And that's the unfortunate part. Like, you can't just deal with it as a regular human being. You gotta learn in front of the world, which is even crazier. But fast forward, of course, to the playoffs that starts this weekend. I mixed it up. I thought it was going to be the Aces versus the Valkyries, but it is not. It is in fact going to be the Aces versus Seattle Storm, Liberty versus Mercury, Atlanta versus Fever, and then you have the Lynx versus the Valkyries. So I'm going with my predictions. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to go between the Lynx and the Valkyries. I still have the Lynx. Between New York Liberty and Mercury, I'm going with the Mercury. When it comes to the Aces versus Seattle, I'm going Aces because they've been more consistent, and of course they have Asia freaking Wilson. And then when it comes to Indiana versus ATL, I'm going to go with the Dream. But Indiana, to me, and I say that lightly, I'm not just saying Atlanta's going to be dominant. Indiana, when they're firing on all cylinders, because they have so many unknown variables, they might, and they really have an opportunity to win that. I'm just going to go with the Dream because they have Jordan Canada, they have Ryan Howard, and then of course they have Alicia Gray. Those three, to me, they've been consistent together throughout the whole year. But Indiana, I'm not going to sleep on them. Okay, those unknowns, the Aerial Powers, who's there now, Odyssey Sims, Lexi Hall, you know, she be in her bag sometimes. Natasha Howard is due to have a very, very dominant game. She has kind of been coasting for, I don't know, like the past 8-9 games, but please believe she can take over, and she has opportunity to do so. You don't know what's going to happen. Leah Boston also has been coasting through, like giving enough, but not enough at the same time. So she's due to have a really big game. Kelsey Mitchell is going to be Kelsey Mitchell the entire time. Shooters are going to shoot, and Kelsey Mitchell, she's going to show up and she's going to shoot. So don't sleep on Indiana, y'all. Even without Caitlin Clark, do not sleep on them. Now, before we get out of here, I need you to raise your hand if you're one of those that find yourself looking at what the athletes wore to the game. If you're into fashion, this is for you right here. This segment is called Who Wore That? Because I'm always looking to see what they wore to the game. I love to see the different side of them off the court or off the field. And I'm gonna start with Parsons, Micah Parsons. Because he looks like he is focused and ready to sack him a QB. I love the fit. I love the color. I love the addition of the briefcase. I'm like, you know what, Micah? Do you, okay? Do you. He looks happy in Green Bay. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes for him. Next up is Terry, looking like new money, new contract money, $90 million worth of money. The point is, the theme is money, okay? That's the theme. The color, the red, complements his skin tone very, very well to me. He didn't do do too much, but he didn't do too little. He just did enough, okay? And the enough that he gave in this photo here is just enough. I love what I'm seeing from his fashion. I didn't even know that he was so big into fashion, so I had to go back and look a little bit on his Instagram. I said, okay, you know what, Terry? I see you, and I'm not mad at what I am seeing. Now, rolling over to Jordan Love, okay? Now, Jordan looks like he's cool. I'm cool. I'm married now. He's like, I'm not gonna do too much. Something light for y'all. Some jeans, a nice shirt, some nice kicks. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep it light. And I'm not mad at it. Okay. Like, I love the vibe. Honestly, I would totally wear that outfit. It looks very, very comfortable, and yet stylish at the same exact time. I love, love, love it. No pun intended. Here I go again, you guys. No pun intended. And last but certainly not least, okay, you have Zach Ertz. Looking like I am ready to catch a touchdown tonight. Again, the theme must have been red or something. What's going on? Maybe they had a conversation. Terry, Zach, what you wearing? I don't know, but it's gonna be red. Okay, I'm wearing red too. I got you. But nevertheless, these two gentlemen look great in the red. Zach looked like he's ready to catch him a touchdown, and that he did. All right, you guys, I need to know your thoughts. Okay, let me know how you feel about this Packers versus Commanders game. What are you seeing that you like? What are you seeing that you don't like? How do you feel about Angel Reese and what Candace Parker said? Do you agree with what Candace Parker said? Where do you think Angel should go next? Are you excited for the playoffs? What team do you have winning it all? And more importantly, let me know how you guys feel about your fashion, right? Are you guys into fashion? And if not, it's okay. I promise you, I do not judge. I look forward to reading your comments, you guys. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, because if you're not, why not? Why not? Why not subscribe if you're not subscribed? You know what, you guys? I'm on a roll here. I'm just going to get out of here for the night. Peace out, you guys.